Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in to another episode of On Point Physique Television. I'm Nigel Batten and I'm on my own today. There's a lot of people busy around the Christmas period time. Couldn't get anyone in this week to talk, so I am going to plug through a topic all on my own, see how this goes. Today's subject is interviews and preparing for interviews, a little bit of technique and preparation. I've been qualified 2 years now, and in that time I've had to prepare for interviews, managed to secure myself an employed role as a gym manager, and also since then have been responsible for interviewing people interested in taking roles in my own gym. So I have seen both sides quite recently, and I think that's sort of given me a little bit of a better insight in interview preparation. So being able to see things from both sides as the interviewee and the interviewer. One thing I have noticed particularly, I'll start off, when I left the Air Force, we were lucky enough to have to be sent on a course to prepare ourselves, get ready for interview, get a CV together, and shown how to do it properly and prepare for interview. Not everyone's done that, which I can massively appreciate, but that has helped me prepare for interviews since then. It's helped me get jobs since then, and it's also helped me have a better understanding of holding interviews from the other side of the table. Now, one thing I have noticed, particularly this last year when I've been interviewing people, is they come massively underprepared. And it's almost like they turn up and expect to be given a job without doing anything or doing any preparation. So, what I say, before you get yourself down to that interview room, prep the shit out of that interview. Get on Google, research the company. I mean, research as much as you can, as much as you can pull off their website. Look at their reviews, look at their what their members sort of suggest for the club, get some idea of whether the club's sort of like a community-based gym, whether it's a corporate gym, whether it's an independent city gym, a bodybuilding gym. All of these things are going to matter when it comes down to interview, and it's really going to come across if you know more about the background of the gym, in particular the staff that work there. So if you have or can put across a basic knowledge of who people are when you walk into that building, then it'll be really good for you. It will show that you've done your research. In particular, a lot of staff websites will put information up about the staff, their interests, things like that. Little things that you can bring up in conversation in the interview. Maybe not so much to force conversation, but to at least sort of like create that familiarity between yourself and whoever's interviewing you, which is always good and very often helps. Again, research the ethics of the company that you're applying to. They will be looking out for those key qualities when you're sat in the interview. So when they're saying, we want someone who's proactive, we want someone driven, career focused, supportive, those sorts of things you need to be sort of maybe dropping into the conversation, or as part of your answers to certain interview questions. Also, what you can offer the company, really sort of think about what you're good at. It's really what you're good at, because there's nothing worse than as being on the other side of the table and saying, what can you offer my gym? Why should I employ you? And someone sits there and goes, well, actually, spending that time thinking about it shows that you haven't prepared and you don't have confidence in your own abilities. If you've managed to get this far, the chances are, you've reached a certain standard. Have confidence in that. You say, if you are new starting out, say, look, I'm new starting out. I want to learn. I'm really driven to learn. Things like that make a massive difference in an interview. Look at the interviewer, smile, be happy, be positive. And again, think about Google, again, I keep going back to Google, but I do it every time. Common interview questions you need to be looking up. There's a massive list. If you type in common interview questions for a fitness instructor on Google, it will bring up a whole host of potential questions for you to look at and prepare. So get those answers ready. Get those answers ready, because they will be coming. And say I'm going across a few of the common ones in this episode. Also think about failures or difficulties, difficult times, how they affected you, how you overcome them, and in particular what you learnt from that period or that event. How you work in a team with other personal trainers. Okay, think about things like that. How do you feel about work? Because some personal trainer gyms or some gyms even will hold sort of 5 or 6 PTs, some even more. So you need to show that you yourself can work well on your own, but also as part of supporting a larger team. Think of ways in which you've worked in a team environment before, how you supported each other, and how you are a good part of that team and how you made it work. Planning ahead as well. A lot of people are going to say, what's your 3 to 5 year idea? What's your 3 to 5 year plan? Do you have a plan for your career in the fitness industry? If you don't, you really need to be making one, because you're just going to stagnate, probably going to drop off the ladder at some point. So really sit down, make a plan for yourself, and if your plan is in 3 to 5 years to own your own gym, say it. You know, don't be afraid to tell people what your plans are. They'll appreciate the honesty. Okay, if they're not looking for someone who's looking to go on to gym management, more for them. Okay, personally, if I want someone coming to my gym, I want them learning the ropes, learning how to run a gym, how to make it an effective and profitable business. If that's what you want to do, brilliant. If you want to stay in PT and you just want to be comfortable with your life, training clients, say so. But bear in mind that when you're coming across saying, I want to be able to support myself, mention that you want to get that client number base up to a point where you can be comfortable and enjoy your life and those things around it. So those are really big key points in interviews. Research dependent on the type of interview you go into as well. Some gyms will have a sit down and a talk first and then a practical element later. Okay, so do your research on both of those. So all the questions plus your training methods. A lot of episodes I will sit down with someone and I'll say suggest a book, suggest a podcast. This time what I'm going to suggest to you is go back and read your level 3 personal trainer book and brush up on those skills which may have just slipped to the side. Those little bits of knowledge that got you that qualification in the first place. Okay, because you are really going to need those in an interview, particularly a practical interview, where you're working with someone you don't know for a personal training session. Okay, brush up on your anatomy, physiology, brush up on your personal trainer guidelines and techniques, and your training methods. Don't forget your PAR-Q questions, okay, your health and safety questions, and make that practical interview all about the client. It's not about you in that interview, it's how you work with your clients. So really focus on those parts. This has been quite a short one today, so it is just me, so there's no time for me to punch the guy next to me, tell him I love him, and get him to suggest a book. So guys, thank you for watching. Okay, thank you for watching episode, what is it, 6 now? So me, on my Todd, I'm hoping you've enjoyed listening to me babble on, and I will speak to you soon. Keep watching, stay on point. Cheers.